We're going to move on now with a look through the international newspapers with Flo. Hi there, Flo.
Hi, Kat.
We're going to start off with this story. Very shocking news, sadly not new. Hundreds of migrants dying as they cross the Mediterranean, trying to reach Italy from Libya.
Absolutely. It's getting attention, as you can imagine, in the Italian press. An article in La Repubblica comes back on the details. So survivors say there were about 550 migrants on board the boat when it left Libya on Sunday. 400 are feared dead. You can see that in the headline there. Now, Italian Coast Guard have rescued nearly 150 people, and they're still searching for survivors. You can see here also in the headline, it talks about another incident where a human trafficker allegedly threw a migrant's body to the sharks, and a suspect has been arrested over this incident. But all this, as you said, is part of a tragic pattern that we're seeing. Just the past couple of days have been incredibly deadly in the Mediterranean. Other papers are focusing on this as well. This is another article, this time in The Independent, which focuses on figures that the European Union put out, that more than 7,000 migrants have been rescued from boats in the Mediterranean since Friday. Now, what's tragic, though, about this story is, though, as incidents like this become more and more frequent, they stop being front-page news. I had to go into The Independent today to find this article, and they were at least talking about the story. Other papers weren't. Now, bear in mind, there have been lots of calls for the European Union to take its responsibility and really find a common solution to this problem. It's not just an Italian problem.
All right, let's move on to another one of our top stories on France 24 this morning. We're talking about the US President Barack Obama making the first moves to take Cuba off the United States list of state sponsors of terrorism. The Cubans saying, well, we never were, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, exactly. It's a very symbolic move from US President Barack Obama. A long-awaited move that's being hailed in Cuba by, officials and ordinary citizens. They see it as a move that heals a decades-long-old insult to national pride. You can read about it in the Cuban press. Here's an article in Grandma. It's another step in the warming ties between Cuba and the U.S. that we've seen since December, and it removes a major roadblock to the establishment of diplomatic relations. Now, if you want the specifics about just how this happened, you can read about it in the Washington Post. It's a little bit technical. Essentially, Obama wrote a message to Congress saying that it had 45 days to consider Cuba's removal from the list before it takes effect. Now, Congress can't interfere with the Obama decision without voting on separate legislation, which is unlikely, even though Congress is very much divided over this issue.
So it's pretty much going to happen, but we've got 45 days to wait, of course. We'll stick with the US. Hillary Clinton, we've been talking about her a lot this week, haven't we?
That's
She's
right.
in the spotlight. She's in Iowa. She's getting her campaign underway.
That's right. Her campaign has set off to a roaring start. It's getting a lot of attention in the States, all over the world as well. You can see a photo of Hillary Clinton on the front page of the British paper, The Independent here. You can see Hillary reaches across America's political divide. See what they did there? There's a photo of her reaching across the table there in Iowa. Now, China Daily as well is focusing on her campaign in their cartoon today. I think it's a particularly good cartoon. You can see Hillary there on the back of a donkey. Donkey, of course, is the symbol of the Democratic Party. She's up against a woolly mammoth. Now, the elephant is the symbol of the Republican Party, so this is a more archaic and more incredibly huge version of the Republican Party, so perhaps she's facing quite a tough challenge there, but you can see Hillary's looking quite confident there in that cartoon.
She is. Her donkey not quite so
her
much.
donkey looks a little bit more confused about what's going on.
Hillary looking pretty confident, that's true. You've also pulled out an article from the Daily Beast. Now, this is quite interesting, about how Hillary is wanting to woo young voters.
That's right. Now, the Daily Beast says something that might be a little harsh, and that's that Hillary was not cool in 2008 when she was running against Barack Obama. Obama was a lot cooler than she was. Now it's 8 years later. She's 8 years older. Can she be cool this time around? Well, compared to the opposition, yes. But you can see the headline here. It says that young voters hate the GOP, so the Republican Party, but they don't really love Hillary yet. She's doing everything she can to woo them, though. She's got this snazzy video campaign that we've been focusing a lot about that has got all the ingredients to appeal to young millennials, and the Daily Beast focuses on this. Young millennials are part of the most racially diverse generation in the U.S. They're also very liberal on social issues, so in that video you can see a gay couple, a mixed-race couple, etc., all these ingredients to appeal to them.
And all of this coming out online as well, because she was criticised for not being very social media savvy last time around. And of course, this is the woman who says she doesn't understand emails.
Well, that she might not understand email, but she's got a website as well that's getting a lot of attention. You can read about it here in France, actually, on the French version of Slate. They're focusing on actually one particular element in her website, and that's the 404 error message that comes up if a link doesn't work. You can see this is the photo that comes up. It's a kind of silly photo of the Clintons back in the 1980s
Very
with,
sweet.
with Donald Duck, who everyone loves Donald Duck. And on the bottom there, you can see there's a very clever link that if you click on it, you can volunteer for her campaign. But I picked out this article because I think it's incredible, the media frenzy that is surrounding Hillary Clinton. Even her 404 error message is getting a lot of attention.
All the tiniest details, I'm sure, are going to be combed over, aren't they? Let's end on a positive note. We're telling you about a scientific breakthrough.
That's right. These are scientists at Duke University in North Carolina. They may have found a potential cause for Alzheimer's disease. It's on the front page here of The Independent. You can see they're talking about a breakthrough that gives new hope to millions. Now, they were examining mice, and they found that certain immune system cells, which normally protect the brain, actually contribute to the disease's development. Now, this is a breakthrough because it really opens the door to finding a treatment for Alzheimer's, which, after all, is the most common form of dementia.
And growing as well.
And growing as well.
Well,
So,
that's very interesting.
fingers
We can read
crossed.
about that in The Independent. Thanks very much, Flo Villamino, with that look through the international press for us.